Hello students, hello subscribers. If you're here for the first time, welcome. My name is Denzel, and in this episode we're going over consumer awareness. For my students, you already know we're approaching the last piece to intro to finance, right? So we went over money management, right? We went over career planning, borrowing, investing, and now this, consumer awareness. So diving right into it, I'm going to give you the definition of consumer awareness according to Google. Right? You know how I start things off, right? I want to give the proper definition so that it can help you. Okay? So consumer awareness is a part of a company's marketing and communications plan. It is a process that helps an entrepreneur educate customers about his or her company, its performances, and the products or services his or her company delivers. Okay. I really like this topic a lot because consumer awareness really brings it all in together when we're talking about how to manage our money, right? How to understand how money works and the marketplace, products, services, goods, right? How you buy things, when you buy things, when should you buy things, right? So in this lesson, I'm going to do my best to really break it down in a short period of time. All right, so like I always said, money is a tool, right? Answers all things. I don't want you to love money. I don't want you to hate it. I want you to use it properly. There's 3 ways to use money. You can either save it, invest it, or spend it, right? So when we're talking about consumer awareness, keywords are consume and aware. Okay? In this scenario, you are the customer that's going or needs to buy something, right? And it's your job to be aware of how much that thing costs, okay? And the way we figured that out to really break down that definition is, I like to make things real simple, right? So for me, consumer awareness is referring to supply and demand. Supply and demand. What is that? Okay, so for example, if you have, you're at a dealership, right? And there's a lot of cars in the lot and nobody's buying cars. You're the only person there. You're the only customer there. And they haven't had a customer for weeks. So they haven't been selling any cars. Right? So that means demand to buy cars is low. And they have a high supply of goods, of products. In this case, it's a car. Right? So there's many cars on the lot. You're the only customer there, potential customer. Right? They haven't had a sale in weeks. What this business will do is lower the price of the cars for you, for that specific customer, or the next few customers, potential clients that may come in. Why? Because when you have a high supply of product but no demand to meet supply, that means price will go down. Okay? Flip the script. If there's a high demand for cars, high demand, right? That means prices are gonna go up because they may not have enough supply to meet the demand. Okay? This could be a little confusing, but the way I try to break it down even further is as a customer, not for everything, but for most things that you consume or that you buy, right? Even when referring to investing in something, in the business, right? You want to buy low and sell high. Okay, so I have a little drawing right here of a chart. Okay. If you were to look at a stock market graph, right, of a chart of a company's stock holdings, right, you're always going to see a bunch of lines up and down, right? The Dow Jones up and down, the NASDAQ up and down, S&P, everything's always going up and down, right? How does one decide when to invest in something at the right time? Okay, so in this scenario, if the chart, right, if the line is really low compared to history, right, if it was up here and now prices drop down to this line right here, this would be a really good time to buy, right? As price goes up, right, you bought it down here for $20 and it rose all the way to 50, right? And it stays steady. It's a perfect time to sell, right? Because when you go to sell at 50, price drops, right? There's no longer a demand. Okay, everybody sold, everyone's selling, right? Till there's no more sales. That's when you want to buy before the demand comes in for it, because this is where you want to be, right? You want to be here when you're buying, right? Low when you're buying, and you want to be way up here when you're selling, right? And this is just talking about investing, okay? Not to confuse you. When you're investing, that's when you want to buy low, sell high, and you make your profit in the spread, okay? As the price goes all the way down, again, you already sold way up here, you already got your profit, right? As it drops in price, then you just buy it back. Do it again and again and again. That's specifically talking about investing. Now, what about, actually consuming product or goods of that nature? That really goes into you as the customer being aware of what you want to buy. So if you're at the dealership, you want to buy a car, right? What kind of car do you want to buy? You want to buy a really expensive car or a really cheap car, or do you want to buy a car in the middle? So you would decide that, okay, I want to do that. I want to buy an inexpensive, reasonable, affordable car. Okay? Now, you could do your homework like the definition says, right? You can look at the entrepreneur's marketing communications plan. You can look at their performance, right? You can go on the stock market, see if they're performing well, right? Is Ford performing well? Are they performing bad, right? If they're performing bad, it might be a nice time to buy a car, right, from Ford, because prices are really low, okay? When Ford's doing really well, everyone's jumping on Ford, right? As the investor, so now you're going from consuming to investing, right? There's two ways to look at consumer awareness, right? There's the consumer, which is the customer. That means you're on the other side, right? Which is just you walking into a store, you walking into a dealership, and you're wanting to buy something for a reasonable price, right? At the right time. You're looking for discounts, you're looking for sales, right? That's what a consumer does. You want the best price, right, for the most value. Okay? Now, when you flip it, when you become the investor, right? When you walk into the store, you want to buy when the company is not performing at their peak, at their best, right? Because that would be a good time to actually sell, right? When everybody's in the store, that's when you as the investor, the entrepreneur, the business owner, is making all the money. But when there's no customers there, right? Demand is low, right? Prices drop. As a consumer, you're the only one in the store, you end up getting the best deal. How do you figure that out as the customer? You want to look at maybe the seasons, right? There's, maybe Ford sells most cars during the summer or during the winter, during the fall, right? Is when they're selling the most cars. But maybe during spring, their sales are really, really low, right? Or maybe during the winter, their sales are really, really low. That might be an indication for you as a customer to go ahead and buy that car, right? So this topic, I might do another video just breaking down both sides, because as a consumer and as an investor, this definition has two different meanings, right? Because when we're talking about money, as the investor, remember, to invest, the objective is to multiply money, right? That was in the previous video where I talk about investing, right? But as a customer, when you go to actually buy something, you're trying to get the best deal for the most value. It's simple as that. So you want to not get tricked really in any way. You walk into a store. For example, I'll give you a scenario where, true story, I went to Key West, right, with my partner, right, and we walk into this store where they have bathing suits, right, nice bathing suits in Key West. Okay, that means we're in a high, tourist area, okay, and she picks out a bathing suit to try on, okay, and she likes it, right? She's like, I want to get it. Cool. In her mind, in my mind, we're thinking the price for that particular product is just like the cost of any bathing suit, right? Maybe 30, $50, right? Under 100, the max for one bathing suit. But being that you're in a specific area where there's, volume, right? A lot of people, okay? This gives the store the ability to boost prices up high because there's a lot of demand for all those products that they have in there. So what happened? I'm not paying attention, right? I give them my card to buy one bathing suit. I'm thinking it's $50 or something like that. It was a nice bathing suit. It was actually $299. Whoa, right? Whereas you could have got the same bathing suit in Fort Lauderdale, right, or Pompano, or in a different area, or maybe even online for half, or for 75% off, or for 80% off, right? So this is always going on when we're talking about consumer awareness, right? Prices are going up, demand is high, prices are up. When there's no demand, prices go down, right? So it just it just does this all day long, right? Some people, they get tricked, right? Or you manipulation, whatever you want to call it, right? You just don't know what you don't know, right? Or maybe it's particular brand, right? Apple, right? This watch is gonna cost significantly more than any other type of, digital watch, just because of their brand, right? But you as the consumer, everyone's buying Apple Watch, right? That means you gotta get one, right? That's the company's marketing and communications plan. So you're seeing the difference here, right? When you're the entrepreneur, when you're the business owner, right, you want to sell your product for the most that you can possibly sell it for, right, for what the market will pay. But when you're the consumer, you're trying to obtain a product for the most reasonable amount of money or less, right, or at a discount for the most value, right? So when would be the best time to buy an Apple Watch or to buy an iPhone? The best time really is when everyone else bought it, right? So they went through all their supply, right? And they pretty much run out, right? And then when they make more, everyone's got it now. Only few people left. For that company to keep selling that same product, they're going to have to drop the price because demand is not there, right? So it would come down, right? So I hope that helps. We will, for my students, we'll in class, we'll do like different scenarios, right? Different examples to really, back up everything. But to recap, right? Consumer awareness simply is referring to supply and demand, right? When there's a high supply but no demand for it, prices have to come down, right? When there's a huge demand and not enough supply, prices rise, okay? When you flip it, as the investor, as the entrepreneur, as a shareholder, as a person that's investing in a product, they're not exactly buying the product, they're just investing in it, it flips. They want to buy the product they want to buy when everyone is selling, right? They're selling. That drives price all the way down, really, really low, okay? And that gives them, the investor, the opportunity to buy up all that stock that they sold at a cheap price, hold on to it, right? Now people are starting to buy because you already bought. You bought down here, price is real low. Apple stock is down, right? Or Google stock or Netflix, whatever. It's real low. So you're buying, right? Now everyone else is buying. Price is going up. You bought down here. What? Guess what? Indication for you as the investor to sell everything. And it's a game. That's all it is. It's just a fun game of making money, right? Just buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. That's it, right? Hope you enjoyed that. Hope I wasn't too confusing. This is a very complex topic. I'll probably do another video on it. But I hope that helps. Enjoy.